Hello, and we are live. Well, we should be live at least. Let's go ahead and get some music going. See if we get some people in the house. So we should have some music playing. Hello, and we are live. Well, we should be live at least. Let's go ahead and get some music going. See if we get some people in the house. Right now, just me. So just music playing. Turning off my laptop sound so I don't have to hear it. Hear an echo of yourself. Not always fun. Let's go ahead. Hey everyone, as you come on. Everyone, thank you for joining. Right now, still just me, but that's cool. I can entertain myself for a little bit. This will get posted live, and hopefully people then get a chance. Hey Tony, welcome, welcome. We have a fun one today. Thank you for coming. So let's see, today we have our 57 Chevy starting off against Dune Crusher. We have our 2008 Lancer Evo versus our Porsche Rally 911. Our Triumph T6 versus the Dodge Challenger Drift. And Tracked Wagon, Christian's favorite, versus Blitzer. Just opened all these up, got all the cards right here. I don't know if you saw the last one, but not all the cars ran, so these had to kind of be tested before we chose them. So, as always, hopefully it doesn't break the speaker again. I think it did. So as always, there we have our starting point where the cars will make their way down in their individual lanes into that first turn. Right after the turn, they will merge into one lane where they will then enter the sixth turn. Why is it called that? Shape of a six. They'll hit the bank, go into the uptown hops with the rally hop right there, where they will continue on uptown, hitting that U-turn, coming back downtown. Well, they will hit the 270 turn. Yes, it does look like the sixth turn, doesn't it? Hitting that final bank into the slope, one more rally hop right there, and over the finish line. So, nice little setup we got for you guys. You ready to go, Tony? Who do you think's gonna win this first one? We have our 57 Chevy versus Dune Crusher. So who do you think's gonna win? Got some fun cars right here, cool paint jobs. So take your pick, let me know who you think is gonna win. Let's get to the track. Helps if I have the gate remote. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put Dune Crusher on the pole position to start off with, and then have our 57 Chevy on the outside. Go Chevy, go Chevy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get going. Now remember, the rules for this are you have to win 2 races in a row. So if Dune Crusher wins his first race and then wins the second race, we will continue, it will move on to the next round. If it loses that second race, we will keep going, alternating positions each time. Let's go ahead and get going. 3, 2, 1. They are heading down the track, hitting that first turn, going into the merge. Dune Crusher's in the lead, going into the uptown hops. Both cars over the up. They got some contact going into the 270 turn, and we're coming down to the final straightaway. And Dune Crusher might make it. Nah, it's not gonna make it. It's not gonna make it. So we are gonna go ahead and do that one over again, but there was a lot of contact the entire way, and that's why I don't think they made it. So, hey Chris, welcome to the party. We're starting off with Dune Crusher versus a 57 Chevy. So, thanks for joining. We got Tony here too. So here we go. We're gonna back up at the top. Do it again. 3, 2, 1. They're off down that main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Keep going into the sixth turn, into the uptown hop, still going, coming back downtown, around the turn, down the slope, and we will have Dune Crusher taking it on race 1. So now if Dune Crusher wins race 2, it moves on. But if the Chevy can pull it out, we will continue. So we have our Chevy on the pole now and Dune Crusher on the outside. It's a good race though. Like when they can make it, it is a good race. So here we go. Again, Chevy has to win to stay alive. Dune Crusher has to win to move on. So 3, 2, 1. The cars are going down the main straightaway into that first turn. We have our Chevy in the lead into the 270 turn, heading into the uptown hops, where it just got passed by Dune Crusher. Dune Crusher just passed it on the uptown hops, and Dune Crusher, it spun out right before the end. Dune Crusher had this in hand. Let's go ahead and do that one over. There was a big contact at the U-turn, and it just, both cars just kind of lost their momentum, but Dune Crusher had that awesome pass, but could not bring it home. So again, we'll have the Chevy on the pole, and we'll have Dune Crusher on the outside. Getting a lot of contact, a lot of good contact. The thing about good contact is, it slows down the cars. I wish these things had little motors. That would be so great. That was a big choke right there. So here we go again. We have both cars ready to go. So 3, 2, 1. They're off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. We have the Chevy in the lead, getting hit by Dune Crusher again. Both cars into the uptown hop. Chevy got the big lead going to the final straightaway, and the Chevy will take it. Dune Crusher might finish. It did not finish. We had some big contact there. So now we have Chevy in with the race in hand, going back to the outside, and Dune Crusher has to win to stay alive. So we'll put Dune Crusher on the pole. There it goes. I gotta be careful not to step on the track. Chevy on the outside. Again, Chevy wins, it moves on. So here we go. Cars are ready. 3, 2, 1. Down that main straightaway, we have the Chevy in the lead. Dune Crusher just passed it again, going into the 270 turn. Both cars over the hops. We have Dune Crusher going backwards into the 270 turn, heading down the slope. And we have Dune Crusher taking it, and the Chevy almost caught up to it. That was a photo finish. The Chevy almost had it at the end. So now we have the Chevy on the pole, racing for its life. If the Chevy wins, it will continue. If the Chevy doesn't, then Dune Crusher will move on. So again, that is the Chevy down a race on the pole. I guess I figure if I say it a bunch of times, I won't forget it this time. Yeah, that was a close finish, right, Chris? So here we go. They're back racked. 3, 2, 1. The cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. The Chevy is in the lead, going around, hitting the uptown hops, coming back around in the lead again. Chevy's gonna take this one, and it does. The Chevy takes this one, so now the Chevy has the race in hand and the pole position. So if the Chevy wins this one from the pole position, the Chevy will move on. So Chevy on the pole, race in hand. Dune Crusher on the outside, needs to win to stay alive. So here we go, we have our cars set up. Cars are ready. 3, 2, 1. They're off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. The Chevy is in the lead. Dune Crusher right behind it, heading into the uptown hop. We have the Chevy getting a really big lead into the final turn, and the Chevy will be moving on. Dune Crusher will finish the race, but Dune Crusher is also going home. So let's go ahead and get those cars. That was a good race though, a lot back and forth in there. But our Chevy will be moving on. Chevy has no quit. Hey Trevor, how's it going? So we're gonna put our Chevy in the next round, and Dune Crusher is just gonna chill. So next, I've actually been really looking forward to racing this one. This is the 2008 Lancer Evolution, and it'll be taking on the Porsche 911 Rally. So really cool cars. I just, for some reason, really attracted to this one. And it's not just because it's in the Mini Car Live logo in a different color. So let's go ahead, get to the track. So we're gonna put the Porsche on the pole right there. And we're gonna put the Evo on the outside. Again, you gotta win 2 races in a row to move on. So here we go, Evo all the way. Let's see what happens. Evo versus Chevy might be a good race if it moves on. So here we go, 3, 2, 1. They're down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. We have the Porsche in the lead heading into the Uptown Hops, but the Evo is right behind it. Porsche still going in the lead, hitting that final straightaway. And wow, the Evo just pulled it out. The Evo with the last second pass right before the finish line. That was a photo finish. Damn, that was a good race. Wow, right on the finish line, that pass. So now we have the Evo on the pole with the win in hand. The Rally on the outside needs to win this, stay alive, but what a last second pass. That was insane. Yeah, right guys, that was a snipe. So we have now, again, we have our Evo on the pole. We have our Rally on the outside. The Evo wins, it moves on. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Neck to neck, the Porsche just took the lead into the Uptown Hops. Both cars over the hops, a little spun out, losing some momentum though. We still have the Porsche in the lead, and both cars will lose momentum. There was contact that entire race though. You can hear it, just the banging of the diecast. So let's go ahead and run that one over again. With Evo on the pole, race in hand. Rally on the outside, needs to win to stay alive. So our cars are set up. These cars are very evenly matched. They're going neck and neck with each other. This is a really good race. I hope you guys are enjoying this one. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. They're off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. We had a Rally just spun out the Evo. Rally has a big lead in downtown, hitting that final turn right here and hitting the straightaway. But will it have enough? It does not have enough. Here, I'll take you guys with me to take a look. It does not have enough. It stops right before it. And over here we can see our Evo. So there was a big contact in the beginning where the Evo got spun out by the Porsche and it just lost all its momentum right there. So let's go ahead, try it again. Evo on the pole and our Porsche on the outside. Evo got the race in hand. These two cars are meant to compete against each other. I wasn't expecting this one to be as good or as fun as it is. So here we go, cars are back up. It didn't have it, but getting close. Ejectocito. That's one of the best lines of that movie, and that's not saying much. So 3, 2, 1. The cars are off down the straightaway, hitting that first turn. The Porsche just spun out the Rally again. There we go, Porsche heading back downtown in the lead, and the Evo just passed it. The Evo just passed the Porsche, and the Evo will take it. Did you see that pass? Great racing, great back and forth action. The Rally took the lead in the beginning. It spun the Porsche, or spun the Evo around, but at the end, it couldn't keep the momentum, and the Evo took the win. So, next round, you guys wanted it. You guys wanted it. You're getting your Evo versus your Chevy. That is a fast Porsche though. And there's a huge weight difference between the two. There's a very huge weight difference between the two. So, are you heading out, Trevor? Or are you just saying bye because it's passing really fast? So our next race, we have our Triumph TR6. It's a nice car. I really like the yellow, really nice car. Versus our Dodge Challenger Drift. This is the fire department edition. I'm not really sure why they have it on there. Nothing else looks like any type of fire department other than it's red, but it looks cool. It's got a mammoth or an elephant. So let's go ahead and get these cars on the track. This is gonna be a good one. Tony, who do you think is gonna win this one? Who do you want to win this one? I think I know. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put the Challenger on the pole right there. I do like the white and red wheels. And then we're gonna put the Triumph on the outside. So we got our cars set up. Haven't seen right that much. Yeah, bye to the Porsche. I think we'll be seeing the Porsche again soon in other things though. That was a good one. Lump engine. All right, here we go. We have our Challenger on the pole position. We have our Triumph on the outside. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. The cars are off down the straightaway, hitting that first turn, neck and neck. The Challenger just pulled out. We just lost our Triumph after the 6th turn. The Challenger has a free reign to the end of the race, and the Challenger will take the win. We just lost the Triumph right in the beginning. It just didn't make it through the 6th turn, and we had our Challenger win that. So now we're gonna switch our cars up. We're gonna put our Challenger on the outside, and our Triumph is gonna be on the inside pole position. The Triumph has to win in order to stay alive. Otherwise, it is going home. If the Challenger wins here, the Challenger is gonna move on to the next round. Yeah, it just flopped. I really wanted to see the Triumph do better. Like, it's a really cool car, and with its lowness to the ground, it should be doing good on this track, but it just flipped. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. The cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. The Triumph has a big lead, but it spun itself around, heading into the uptown hops. Triumph still in the lead, heading back downtown into the 70 turn, and the Triumph, wow! The Challenger just took it at the finish line. That was the Challenger at the end. The Triumph just stopped right on it, but the Challenger took it. And the best part is I can watch it again with you guys live on my other screen. And that was a hell of a pass right at the finish line. Wow. So our Challenger will be moving on, and our Triumph will be moving out. That was our fastest race so far. So here we go. We have our Challenger moving on to the next round, and our Triumph is going home. I really wanted to see more. That was a good Mopar. That one had some speed to it. All right, we got some fantasy cars coming up. So I'm a station wagon fan. I do have a thing for sport wagons, and we got tracked wagon, which I really hate saying over and over again. It's just not fun to say, this car. And we got Blitz Speeder. I like the spoiler on this one. So tracked wagon, first Blitz Speeder. Let's see who's gonna do it. Hey, Barbecue. Hey, appreciate you being here. Enjoy the show. We are in our final race of round 1. So we're gonna put Blitz Speeder on the pole, and we are gonna put our tracked wagon on the outside. God, that gets tired of saying that. So we have our cars at the top, Blitz Speeder on the pole, tracked wagon on the outside. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. The cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. We have Blitzspeeder, big lead. Wagon catches up both cars over the uptown hop. Blitzspeeder into the 6th turn, coming down around, and Blitzspeeder will take it. Tracked Wagon close behind. Both cars finished. Great to see that, but just didn't have enough. So let's go ahead, get these cars back to the top. Tracked Wagon will have the pole position, but Blitzspeeder will have the race in hand. So if Blitzspeeder gets this next one, Blitzspeeder moves on to round 2. But if Tracked Wagon can win this one, we will keep going. It's going for the sweep right here. What is that one car you always see on the shows? Pontiac Aztec. You know, the Pontiac Aztec is very underrated. I really did like that car. But I've been seeing a lot of the dessert cars on the shelf, as well as the ambulance ones. So, you know, the big chunky ones that no one really wants. All right, here we go. We have Tracked Wagon in the pole position, needs to win to stay alive. We have Blitzspeeder on the outside, needs to win to move on. 3, 2, 1. The cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. We have Blitzspeeder taking the lead into the uptown hops. Both cars over the hops. Blitzspeeder got some air on that one. Blitzspeeder coming down the main straightaway, and it will take the win. And Tracked Wagon will spin out right before the final rally hop. So our Blitzspeeder, just a really fast car, just won its round. So it will be moving on to round 2, where it will be taking on our challenger. So let's get those back on the rack. Wait, what was the question? Here you go. But all right, so we now have our 57 Chevy. God, this is such a nice car. Taking on our 08 Lancer Evolution, also a nice car. We're gonna put the Chevy on the pole position, and we'll put our Evo on the outside. So Chevy on the pole, Evo on the outside. Do a quick maintenance on the track. There we go. So our cars are ready. Who do you guys think is gonna get this one? Yeah, Blitzspeeder's fast. So here we go. We have our 57 Chevy on the inside pole. Evo on the outside. Cars are ready. 3, 2, 1. There they go down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Chevy in the lead. Evo just passed it. The Evo just passed it. Both cars into the uptown hops. Evo in the lead. Chevy right behind, trying to make the pass, heading into that final straightaway where the Evo is going to take it and the Chevy will come in second. Close race, lots of contact. Had some good passes on there and some good attempts at passing. So now we have our Evo with a race in hand, going to be on the pole position. And our Chevy needs to win from the outside in order to stay alive. Great racing, lots of contact. I don't think it comes out on the microphone, but you can hear these cars banging against each other. Diecast on diecast. So, yep, Chevy's back in the game. So we're gonna see if it can stay in the game. It needs to win right here to stay alive. So here we go. Again, Evo wins, it moves on. Chevy wins, we keep going. 3, 2, 1. Cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Evo in the lead, heading into the 6th turn. Both cars over the uptown hops, heading back downtown. Chevy in the lead. Chevy hitting the down slope at the end, and Chevy will take this one. Chevy stays alive and now has the pole position with a race in hand. Close racing, again, a lot of contact. It's kind of funny because the contact, you know, when I make my videos, sounds like bang, 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 bunch of, you know, loud noises. But on here, you just hear dink, dink, dink. So Chevy on the pole, race in hand. Chevy wins, it moves on to the finals. But if the Evo wins, we keep going. Great racing. It is trying to be hip. You know, think of Hot Wheels. It's been through so many generations. Like, you know, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm definitely mid-aged, and Hot Wheels has been around way before me, so it has to find ways to stay current. But here we go, Chevy on the pole, race in hand. 3, 2, 1. Cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Chevy in the lead, Evo trying to make the pass. Both cars over the uptown hops. Chevy in the lead, heading back downtown. Both cars spinning out a little bit, but we still have the Chevy going. And randomly, our Evo just flipped over out of nowhere, but both cars did get stuck up with all of their connecting and did not make it to the end. So we're gonna run it back. Again, Chevy on the pole. If it wins, it moves on. If the Evo wins, we keep going. But we're getting some good racing, a lot of connections out of these cars. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Chevy in the lead, just got spun out by the Evo. Both cars are down, and we just lost the Chevy. The Chevy just flipped over. The Evo's trying to push through. The Evo coming around the final turn, down the slope, and the Evo will take the win. Did you guys see the Chevy just flip over on the uptown hops? Got pushed a little bit by the Evo. That was a great race right there, and just got smashed through, and the Evo kept it going. So now we're gonna have the Evo on the inside pole position, race in hand, and our Chevy is gonna be on the outside, racing for its life. So let's go ahead, get the Chevy on the outside, our Evo on the pole. That was some close racing. We had some more contacts. The flip, the Chevy got grounded, as you said. It definitely did, and I feel for it, because in my mind, I'm like, that's so much scratched paint. So much scratched paint. All right, here we go. Evo racing to move on. Chevy racing to stay alive. 3, 2, 1. Cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. We have the Evo in the lead, Chevy right behind it. And now the Evo just flipped over and stopped the Chevy. These two cars are also very evenly matched. Let's get them back up right now. So here we go. Let's get these cars back up to the top. We have our Evo on the pole, race in hand. We have our Chevy on the outside, racing to stay alive. Who do we think is gonna win Mini Car Madness? I don't know. I actually haven't shot the next races yet, so I don't know yet either, but we'll find out soon enough. So here we go, Evo racing to move on, Chevy racing to stay alive. 3, 2, 1. The cars are off down the main straightaway into that first turn. Evo in the lead, Chevy right behind them, both cars into the up down. And we just lost to Chevy, and we also just lost to Evo. It looks like they connected right at the uptown hops. These cars just want to stay connected. They don't want to move on. They just want to stay with each other. And they're very evenly matched, and I don't think they like each other. And that's what I'm going to keep saying, because if they liked each other, one of them would be like, hey, buddy, why don't you go ahead and move on? But they're not doing that. So again, Chevy on the outside, trying to stay alive. Evo on the inside, trying to move on. And that's what it is. The Chevy's really trying to stay in this race. It is doing everything it can to screw over the Evo here, and it's doing a great job of it. So here we go, 3, 2, 1. I switched cameras and forgot to hit the other button. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Cars are off, down the main straightaway, into that first turn. We have the Evo in the lead, Chevy right behind them. Both cars over the uptown hops. Chevy in the lead, coming back around, hitting down the slope, and the Chevy will take it, followed by the Evo. So now the Evo is behind. The Chevy needs to move on. So we have our Chevy on the pole with the race in hand right here. So here's our Chevy on the pole. If the Chevy wins, it will continue. If the Chevy loses, then we will keep this round going. But that was a great win by the Chevy. And here we go. So Chevy's in the lead, racing to move on. 3, 2, 1. There they go down the main straightaway into that first turn. Chevy in the lead, Evo pushing it from behind. And we just lost our Evo and we just lost both cars. There was a big contact and we lost both cars. Both cars spun out on there. So let's go ahead and do that again. Our Chevy on the pole and our Evo on the outside. Chevy with the race in hand. But these cars really want it. They really want to move on. This is for the finals. Whoever wins here goes to the finals. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. There they go down the main straightaway into that first turn. We have the Chevy in the lead, just got spun around by the Evo. But we just lost the Chevy in the uptown hops and we just lost both cars again. Can you guys see the contact in this race? There is a lot of contact in this race. These cars were meant to race each other, but you know, Trevor, I might have to put these on your drag strip, because that might be the only way these guys get to the end of the track at this point. So here we go. Chevy on the inside, Evo on the outside. Round, who knows? But here we go. 3, 2, 1. There they go down the main straightaway into that first turn. The Chevy in the lead, the Evo trying to make its move. They're heading into the uptown hops. Chevy into the uptown. We just lost the Evo. This is the Chevy's race to lose. And the Chevy said, no, it will not. Our Chevy is moving on. The Chevy is moving on and the Evo is moving out. Great racing. Lots of back and forth right there. But at the end of the day, American Muscle beat out JDM. So, our American Muscle moving on to the finals right there. And our JDM is just gonna stay right back there. So now, we're gonna see who's gonna join him in the finals. We have our Challenger Drift versus Blitzer, who I honestly think this might be the fastest car today. So let's get these on the track. And we're gonna put the Challenger on the pole. Our Blitzer will take the outside. And this is gonna be a good race, because I think the Challenger, if it can keep up, it's got the weight advantage and it will push out that car. This is going to be a good one. Hey Sam, thank you for being here, appreciate it. So here we go, our car, boo Blitzer. All right guys, let's go ahead and get this going. We have our Challenger on the pole. 3, 2, 1. Both cars down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. We have our Blitzer just made a crazy pass. Both cars over that, and we just had the Challenger pass it. The Challenger with the big pass, heading into it, going down the final straightaway, and the Challenger is going to take it. Blitzer had this big lead forming, and the Challenger just said, nah, man, I am going to take that back. Our Challenger just took that. So now we have the Blitzer gonna take the pole position. We have our Challenger taking the outside with the race in hand. But that was a crazy pass that our Challenger just made. So one more win for the Challenger, that moves on. But the Blitzer is, if it wins, will keep this going. That was a big pass right there, Chris. You got that. So let's go ahead. All our cars are set up. Blitzer on the pole. 3, 2, 1. Both cars down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Blitzer has a big lead going through this. Both cars over the uptown hop. Blitzer had a lot of air in that one. Blitzer is going to cross that finish line. Again, I think the Blitzer is the fastest car here. It's gonna have to make a mistake for this Challenger to keep up with it. And that was not a mistaked race. So we're gonna put our Challenger on the pole. It is racing to stay alive. And the Blitzer is on the outside. If it wins, it moves on to the finals. Can Can the Challenger come back? That's a great question. I'm not sure who I want to win this one. I really do like Challengers, but the Blitzpeeder's so fast. So here we go. The cars are ready. 3, 2, 1. They're off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. We have Blitzpeeder making the pass, heading into the uptown hop. Both cars over the uptown hop. Blitzpeeder widening that lead into the final straightaway, and the Blitzpeeder will take the victory and move on to the finals. So our Blitzpeeder will be joining our Chevy in the finals. So we can put that there, and we can put that there. So we got our halftime show, guys, and I got a couple cars for today. I couldn't really decide which ones I wanted to do. So we have our halftime champion from last time, our 711 Supra, and we got a nice couple competitors for it right here. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. We're gonna go ahead and first though, before we have it, we have to see if these cars deserve to go against our Supra. So we're gonna have the judge, a 1970 Pontiac GTO versus the 22 DeLorean Alphas. Let's go ahead and see who's gonna win this one. So get these open, just opening these up a little bit. All right, we have our judge out of its package. Oh, the Alphas came out very quickly. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna start off with the DeLorean on the pole position. And we are gonna put the judge on the outside position. All right, so we have a Pontiac GTO judge versus a DeLorean Alphas. So let's go ahead and see, where did I put the remote? There it is. So let's go ahead and see who's going to win this one. So here we go, DeLorean on the pole. 3, 2, 1. Both cars heading down the straightaway, hitting that first turn. We have the Alpha in the lead, going into the uptown hop, over the uptown hops, heading back downtown. Big lead over the judge, heading into that final straightaway. The DeLorean will take the win. Yeah, both are Silver Series. Both are Silver Series, but our judge never really stood a chance. You can see it right. Can you see it there? No, it's actually underneath the cross section. But can we see it from that camera? Nope, can't see it from that camera either. But yeah, the judge never had a chance, and then it spun out. So now the judge is going to have the pole position. Our DeLorean will have the outside. Come on, get that up. There we go. All right, judge on the pole, DeLorean on the outside. All right, that is a fast DeLorean. So here we go. We have the judge needs to win to stay alive. DeLorean needs to win to move on. 3, 2, 1. Both cars are off down the main straightaway into that first turn. DeLorean gets a big lead, and we already lost the judge. DeLorean just spun around. It's heading towards the end. Will it make it? No, it won't. We did lose it. I just realized the camera did not change. I apologize for that. I got kind of thrown off by losing the judge. So we did just lose the judge. We're gonna re-rack these and have them go again. Our judge, one of the wheels came off the track and got hung up on the guardrail. But even before that, it was already so far behind the DeLorean that it's almost like, did it matter? So let's try that one again. 3, 2, 1. They are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. DeLorean, big lead into it. Both cars into the uptown hops. We just lost our DeLorean. The judge made the pass. Judge heading into the sixth turn. Will it have enough to get down the slope? It will not. It will not. That was the judge's big go. That was the big one for the judge. It did not make it. And we lost our DeLorean inside the track. Grab it with my handy dandy car grabber. Now let's rack them up again. Judge on the outside needs to win to stay alive. Whoever wins challenges our 7-Eleven Supra from last week. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Cars are off down the main straightaway into that first turn. DeLorean in the lead, going to the Uptown Hops. Lots of air on the Uptown Hops. DeLorean still going, hitting that final straightaway, and our DeLorean is going to take it. And we did lose the judge somewhere. Yep, found it. We lost the judge right after the Uptown Hops. So the judge is gonna go home. But now we are gonna have the DeLorean is now gonna take on our champion from last week. So we have our 7-Eleven Supra versus our DeLorean Alpha. I don't even know, did this car ever actually come out? I remember they were going to bring DeLorean back, but I never heard much about it. But let's get to the track. And because we have a champion here, champion gets champion's advantage, which means it gets the pole position. This is going to be a fun one. Supra was pretty fast last week when it beat the Nissan. So here we go. Both cars are ready to go. 7-Eleven Supra on the pole. 3, 2, 1. Cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. The Supra in the lead, heading into 270. Both cars into the Uptown, and we just lost the Supra, and the Alpha is still going, and the DeLorean is going to take it. The Supra was in the lead until it flipped over in the Uptown Hops, and that gave it away. Just gave up the ghost in the Hops and did not win. So now we have our Alpha going to take the pole with the race in hand. And if it wins, it is our new halftime champion. If the Supra wins, we will continue on. I gotta get like a little belt or something to put on these cars that says halftime champion. Make a design on that. I love a bigger finish to the jump. Yeah, me too. Hard to make though. All right, here we go. We have our Alpha on the pole with the race in hand. 3, 2, 1. They are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Both cars neck and neck going into the Uptown Hops. And we just lost the Supra again. They have the Alpha with a big lead, and the Alpha is going to bring it home and will become our new halftime champion. The Supra did save itself and its dignity by finishing the race, but it did not win. So our DeLorean is today's halftime champion. So it now takes this little garage right there. And so I do have another car we're gonna race. We'll even put it up against the DeLorean. And that's this. What do you guys think of this? Fast and Furious mainline Buick Grand National. I wanted this car so bad as a kid before I learned what JDM was and before Fast and Furious came out. 1986 Grand National. You can have in any color you want as long as it was black. So here we go. Let's open this up. I just got this the other day, super stoked about it. Had to make sure it wasn't a premium when I was getting it because I didn't want the rubber tires. So here we go, our Buick Grand National. We're gonna put this up against the DeLorean and then we'll get back to our show. And yeah, we're giving the DeLorean the pole position. It is the champion, but oh, almost dropped it. But I am rooting for the Grand National on this one. Really want to see the Grand National win. So let's go Pontiac. Pontiac, Buick. All right, here we go. We have our DeLorean on the pole. 3, 2, 1. Both cars are off down the main straightaway into that first turn. We have the Buick in the lead, heading into the Uptown Hop, heading back downtown, kind of drifted out a little bit. The DeLorean right behind it. Both cars coming, and the DeLorean with the pass at the finish line. The Buick had it the entire time. I'm smacking my leg. and then gave up the ghost right at the finish line. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, now keep in mind, guys, this is a Silver Series versus a mainline. Like, that is something to keep in mind too. The Buick is a mainline and the DeLorean is a Silver Series. But that was a close race all the way until the end. That final finish. Oh, that was a tough one. Tough one. Hey, barbecue, it's all about family, right? All right, here we go. We have our Buick on the pole, needs to win to stay alive. DeLorean on the outside needs to win to stay. It's going to stay a champion. It is the champion. This is a race for fun. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. They are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Buick just spun over. The Buick just flipped over and the DeLorean just passed it. DeLorean has the race to itself, coming back around, heading down the slope, and the DeLorean will take it. The Buick flipped right over. That being said, I wish I had a scale up here. This Buick is a very light car, like even compared to my other main lines. But the DeLorean is gonna stay right here. So close. All right, let's get on to our finals. For our finals, we have our 57 Chevy. I love this blue. That's just so badass. Versus Blitzer. The pink's pretty cool, but I like the spoiler. It's easy to hold the car. So let's get them on the track. We're gonna give the Chevy the pole position. Get them up here. And the winner of this round will be this week's champion and will be on the championship wall. After we have 8 champions, we're gonna have a championship tournament where all the champions are going against each other. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, the Alphas is good. It's sick. I just never heard of it outside of having this car. So here we go. We have both cars on the track. Our Chevy in the pole position. This is our finals. This is the finals. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. They're off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. We have Blitzer with the big lead going into the up-down hop, and the Chevy just spun out. Blitzer still going into the final straightaway, and the Blitzer will take the victory, and the Chevy will follow it. Sadly, the Chevy got off to a really bad start. It spun out. I'm shocked it finished the race at all because it just going slow. I didn't think it was going to get up the U-turn. So now we're gonna have Blitzer on the pole with a race in hand. Like, this might be among my fastest cars, this Blitzer. Like, it's crazy fast. All right, so again, Blitzer racing to be a champion. Chevy racing to stay alive. 3, 2, 1. The cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Blitzer with a big lead heading into the up-down hop. Both cars over the up-down hop. Blitzer even bigger lead heading into that final straightaway. And Blitzer is today's champion. Blitzer is our champion of the day, of the week, of today's episode. But we are not done yet. We still have more. So we're gonna put our Chevy on the track. Now Blitzer is today's champion. This car is today's champion, but we're gonna put it against our DeLorean. So we have our halftime champion versus today's champion. This is a Silver Series. This is a mainline. Let's see what happens. Done in 2, Chris. Done in 2. Yeah, Blitzer's fast, which this is gonna be a good race. Barbecue, I think this is gonna be a really good race. So let's go ahead and see who's gonna win, Blitzer or the DeLorean. So we're gonna put the DeLorean on the pole. We're gonna put the Blitzer on the outside. And let's go ahead and see who is going to get this. So, DeLorean on the pole, 3, 2, 1. Both cars are off down the main straightaway into that first turn. Blitzspeeder taking the lead, heading into the uptown hops, nice and easy. Blitzspeeder still in the big lead, DeLorean well behind. Blitzspeeder is going to take that win, and the DeLorean is going to get held up right before that final turn. So our Blitzspeeder has a race in hand. Our main line has a race in hand over a Silver Series. And our main line has the pole. So let's go ahead, get these cars back up and see if this Blitzspeeder can put the DeLorean out. So here we go. So again, Blitzspeeder, if it wins, it takes the round. If the DeLorean wins, we keep going. The driver of the Blitzspeeder is doing pretty awesome today. So here we go, 3, 2, 1. Both cars are off down that main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Blitzspeeder in the lead, into the 2-7 turn, heading into the uptown hops. And I think we just lost both cars. I'm pretty sure we just lost both cars. I saw Blitzspeeder kind of flip up a little bit. So let's see if we can go find him. I see the DeLorean. We get the car grabber. And yep, there it is. It fell all the way to the bottom. Boop, got it. Harbor Freight, $5, saves my back so much pain. Ah, fell in the water. I am just destroying this DeLorean. All right, let's get these back on the track. So we have our Blitzspeeder with a race in hand on the pole, and we have our DeLorean one race back on the outside. So let's go ahead. It's very possible it bent an axle. Look at me, I am the captain now. I do enjoy the movie quotes, Chris. I didn't get most of the ones with Mei Lin's race, but I do enjoy the quotes. So here we go. Both cars ready. Blitzspeeder racing to win. DeLorean racing to stay alive. Cars are off down the main straightaway, hitting that first turn. Blitzspeeder has a big lead going into the uptown hop. Both cars over the uptown hops. Blitzspeeder bigger lead heading into that final straightaway. And our Blitzspeeder is going to take the win. And we did lose the DeLorean right before that final turn again. That's twice this round. So our Blitzspeeder is faster than a Silver Series. That's pretty crazy. So I got a good one in store for our next mini car live. Have any of you guys ever heard of the Faster Than Ever series? I got a whole bunch of faster than ever cars, and that's what we're gonna be racing in the next episode. It's not gonna be next week. I am traveling next week for work, so I will not be able to do that. But the following week, we are gonna go ahead and we are gonna, I'm trying to flip this around. There we go. So the following week, we are gonna go ahead and we are gonna do Mini Car Live with Faster Than Ever series cars. They're all brand new. I'm gonna make sure they're good to go beforehand, and we will have a good race in 2 weeks when we do that. Mini Car Madness, the end of round 2 will be on next week. Looking forward to that one. That's a good race. And I'll be getting ready to shoot round 3. We're marching towards the finals of that one. Thank you everyone for showing up. Appreciate you guys being here. Gone for about 54 minutes. So again, enjoy it. I appreciate you guys spending your night with me. I'm enjoying this. I hope you guys are enjoying this too. I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. After the live stream ends, keep the chat going in the comments. Appreciate you all for being here. Thanks, Chris, Barbecue, Trevor, Tony, Sam, anyone else that I'm forgetting. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.